And I remember at one point I just said, okay, there's nothing I could do. I slammed the door in his room. I went downstairs and I was just like, please, somebody come and take him from me. For me, that was, I don't know, Jack was maybe 5, 6 years old. His language was very minimal. And he was going over to his mother's for a weekend, and his mother was sick. So I dropped him off, and just before he got out of the car, I was like, Mommy's sick. And so he attacked me, and of course I scooped him up, and we went up to his room, and we went through all the techniques we had for de-escalation. And somewhere during that de-escalation, he said, he goes, Mommy's sick. And I was like, oh, we've just made a connection. It might have been one of the first connections I ever really made with this child at this point. And I think at the end of the conversation, I said something like, oh, we could say a prayer for Mommy if you want. And he's like, yeah. So, like, God help Mommy to be happy. And we went on with our day. And he goes, God help Sue to be happy. And I'm like, whoa. Now it really settled on me what happened. Now, for a parent of a child with minimum, communication, that's a big moment, an awakening. For the first time, I was actually able to, mentor my child through a situation and give him some coping mechanisms, even if it's a simple prayer. I opened the book with a kind of a story about a typically bad meltdown. We ended up, at some point, it was like survival for both of us. It was the only thing I would say an awakening that came out of it is, when I'm looking back on it, I'm like, I realized I needed help too, not just him. Yeah. And that kind of led to everything that followed, including, we talked about this before, if you're trying to help a drowning man, you got to help yourself first.
Put the best on yourself first before your child.
So I had to figure out how to solve the crisis in me. And this is kind of the impetus of the book. And once I solved the crisis in me, figure out where it comes from, help myself. Now I started seeing my son was having his meltdowns.
And tell us what kind of message you want to convey to people out there.
I want to convey that if you do have a child with special needs, it is hard. And, you have to understand the problem before you can solve it. And I'm hoping that my book can help someone who's struggling kind of understand their situation so that they can find a path out like we did.